Hola, me llamo Raquel y yo soy mexicana. So, for all of you guys that don't know Spanish, all I said was that my name was Raquel Benitez, and I wanted to talk to you guys in Spanish just because, well, the first thing is that that's what I speak. The second thing is because that's how I communicate with my family, so that's very important. It describes who I am, so I just wanted to show you guys some that I that describes me. So for my culture bag, this is what I picked, and the reason why I picked this bag was because my mom gave it to me. She bought it for me, and it's very special to me, and I always keep it with me. I've had it for 6 years now, and there's no way that I'll ever throw it out. So the first thing that I want to show you guys that I'm pulling out is the picture of my mom and and I wanted to show you guys this picture because my mom is my best friend. She's always there for me. Whenever I need anything, she is the first person that I think about calling, and she is such a great person. She's very kind-hearted, and she is somebody that I want to grow up to be. This is a person that you guys will want to know just because of how loving she is, and no matter what happens, she's always going to be there for me. So I always carry her in my heart. Even though right now I'm not with her because of school, I always call her every day, and she calls me every day as well. And I like to look at this picture because I miss her so much. So that's why I wanted to show you guys a picture. And the artifact that I picked was because of my mom, how much I love her and how much I miss her, and she describes who I am because she's the one that raised me to be the person that I am. So that's why I picked this artifact. Another artifact that I picked was this picture frame. So this is my sister, and these are my two cousins at the end, and I'm in the middle. So, growing up, all four of us were always together. They describe who I am just because they're exactly like me. Whenever we're together, we always have fun. We're always able to be ourselves when we're together. And we're always texting. Whenever one of us needs advice, we always make sure to call each other or text each other. And no matter what, we're always there for each other, which is something that I am very proud to say. One of the things that is very important in my culture is family. So this is why I always keep this picture, to make sure that I always have them. I know that I can always text them, but it's nice to see their faces. And so I always keep this right next to my bedside so that I can always look at them, if that makes sense. Just because I miss them so much, especially my sister in the middle. She's older than me. She's 25 right now. I'm 21. So she's only 4 years older than me, but she is very mature for her age, and I just love her so much. The third artifact that I wanted to show you guys was this cake. And it's not just any ordinary cake. It's a cake that describes my culture, just because of the fact that it says, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says it's a number 1 and a 5, which means that it was obviously a 15th birthday party. And it's not just any ordinary 15th birthday party. In my culture, it's when a girl turns 15, she has this big, enormous party, and it's called a quinceañera, which in English it's cotillion. And this is when our family brings us out to society and shows them what kind of woman we've become, and we get a lot more responsibilities, and it's just our family showing us, like I said, to the society, showing them how proud they are to have us and how we've turned out. And I had one, my sister had one, my cousins all had one, and it doesn't have to be big, but we have a big family, so that's why it turned out that we had a big party. So that's my third artifact. My fourth artifact that I wanted to show you guys was this bracelet. And the reason why it's important to me was because my grandma gave it to me, and I don't get to see her that often because she lives in Mexico. So it's really sad because I don't really get to see her, but at the same time I'm happy that she thought about me and she sent this to me, so I always keep it. Another reason why it's very important to me is because of these little pictures right there. That is La Virgen de Guadalupe, so the Virgin Mary, and she's very important in my religion and in my culture just because she's God's mother, and we celebrate her every December the 12th, and she's very important to us just because not only is she God's mother, but she makes a lot of miracles. So I always have this bracelet because my grandma gave it to me and because of the Virgin Mary being there. So when I am ever feeling sad, I always grab this bracelet and I hold it, and then I feel better, which sounds strange, but I really do feel a lot better. The fifth artifact that I chose is another religious thing, and this is Saint Monica. I got it about 4 years ago at a church, and it is one of my favorite things that I keep in my book bag. Every day I have it in my book bag, and whenever I feel like life is getting too hard, I read the back of the inscription here, and I read all of it, and it's a really nice inscription. So whenever I am feeling like I'm gonna cry or I'm just really upset, I read the back of it, so that way I can feel better. So that's why I have it. The last thing that I wanted to share with you guys was this blanket. And it might seem like it's old, but that's because it really is. I'm 21, and I got this when I was 7 years old for my aunt. And the reason why I keep it is because it reminds me of my home. I never sleep without it, even in the summer. I'll have my fan on and my blanket will be right next to me and I'll lay on it. So I always have it. It reminds me of my home, which I don't get to see my family that often. So in a sense, it smells like my house, which is weird. But no matter how many times I wash it, I can't get the smell out. And it's not a bad smell. It's a good smell. So that's why I love having it next to me, so I never cover myself with anything other than this raggedy blanket, which it might sound strange to you guys, but it's a comfort thing that I always have. So that's a little something about myself. I really enjoyed sharing some of my culture with you guys. And I hope that you guys have as much fun as I did with this project as you guys did.